And Shalom to elective Israel, to the hopeful elected Israel. You Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites, and like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone led me to this truth. We teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the hopeful elect. And Lord willing, this be edifying to the flock. I just want to do a quick lesson I did. I was doing camp. It was camp, or I think it was a lesson I did. I think it's camp. I was at camp, and I wanted to bring just a little bit more understanding uh, concerning this verse, because we all have transgressed the laws. Of course, we all go off, but this I wanted to bring just a little bit more understanding, because in camp I was saying that, the fool and the transgressors, and I wanted to be more assured who the fool is and who the transgressors are concerning this scripture. Okay. And the fool in this scripture is basically Esau, Edom, and the other 16 nations, because they think that we're fools for what we're doing. They think that we don't know what we're talking about, but it's mainly the fool is Esau, Edom, and then transgressors are the ones who are literally not even taking any, especially 2/3 of our people who are not even taken under consideration. They're not even trying to do the work. They're trying to come up with an excuse. Because just like I was listening to a video that GMS in Orlando did, and I go around listening to all the Brotherhood's videos, all of them very edifying. You need to go around and get, because some brothers know how to do this better. Brothers know how to do this. Some other brothers know how to do this. Other brothers have different skills. So you want to go around, listen to all of them, and they will help you strengthen your faith. That's what they're there for, to help you in places that you're lacking. So, in your spirit and in your faith. And that's what got me today to this far, to be able to do videos and do news clips and filter in scriptures and do camp and stuff. I was listening to these men that gave me the inspiration to keep enduring through my mistakes, the one I have made them. But transgressions is mainly talking about 2/3. And because we're not trying to transgress the law, we're gonna go off, of course, because we're not perfect. But we're not here transgressing the law and be like, whatever, it ain't no big deal. And also, we're not establishing our own righteousness by going out of order and going and teaching our own doctrine, going out and saying, speaking evil against Great Millstone, and speaking evil against the men of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what that means, establishing your own righteousness. So we'll pull that up real quick, and we'll. This is just a real quick pre-camp lesson. It's a real quick one. Before I go out there and I'm gonna come back, I got some news articles that I'm gonna put out, Lord willing. Uh, Romans 10:3, it says, "For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness," they're trying to make their own flip on just what makes them comfortable about it. They don't want to talk about certain topics like the whole grape subject and all that stuff. And we're not even telling nobody that that's okay right now to do or whatever. We're saying those laws are set up, okay? They're set up so people don't do stuff like that, okay? And get away with it. And if you do end up taking a woman, it was saying like it said like you take a woman and you sleep with her, because back then women didn't have no say so, okay, because their curse in Genesis 3:15 was that, or 16, was that they were gonna have to, the man was gonna rule over them. They didn't get no say so. But now you got these women out here being all, you know, oh well, I got women's rights and whatever. We're gonna see whenever you get drafted in World War III, because it's not gonna just be men, it's gonna be women too. But he says his servants shall eat, and his servants will be saved out of it, out of Jacob's trouble, because that's part of Jacob's trouble too. All this stuff that's gonna happen. There's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen during Jacob's trouble. you know. And a lot of our people are going to die. That's what's bitter about this whole ministry. But you know what I'm saying? This is what you must endure and go through. You have to take all the scrolls. You got to eat all the scrolls, and it's a patient race. Not gonna be able to eat all the scrolls in one night, but you need to be learning something new every day. You know, because this is just ultimately what's gonna happen, which is Zechariah 13:8. This is going to happen. So Zechariah 13, verse 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahawashi, Yahawashi, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, which these tribulations and trials being at the bottom, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God, Yahawah, Yahawashi. And these people, they want to establish their own righteousness, and they don't want to go under the men that the Lord set up, okay, to teach sound doctrine, so we won't go off. That's all they're there for, to teach you not to go off, and also to learn themselves, okay, and to serve the Lord. That's what they're there for. They're serving the Lord, because that's what the Lord said. We'll show you in just a second. Then I'm gonna close out. I wanted to at least make it 10 minutes. Ezekiel 34:31, and ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord God, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. See, it's a flock of men. Okay, there's no women in it. Okay, that's why throughout all the scriptures it says women ain't even supposed to be talking, not supposed to be going, and you know what I'm saying, that you can't come in with a, shalom, may the Lord, it depends on what spirit that woman is in, and that's what really is about. You know what I'm saying? But if women's just steady talking and steady covered in, then that's a problem with the Lord. That's not a problem with us. So when somebody wanted a minute to, hey, you need to hold your peace. That's to protect you. Okay, that's to say, hey, the Lord's gonna jack you up. Okay, and then women don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they don't want to. They want to talk about, they want to say Adam was, or which is Yahawashi. They try to say he was there, and he transgressed the law. No, he didn't. And we're gonna see what the scripture says. Because Adam was not deceived, because which is Yahawashi, because he's the first creator of all things, and everything. But Yahweh inevitably gets the credit. That's why he always says worship Yahweh. But he basically says that the Lord gave Yahawashi the blueprint, and then he came down and set it up. So everything that's the way it is the way it was supposed to go, the exact way. It wasn't supposed to be no other way. So 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression, man. See? Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So see, they don't have the same rank as men. Okay, period. And that's in all the other nations and everything. Okay, they don't have no rank over men. Period, in anything. Okay, that's why you got these marriages now that mess up, because you got this man listening to his wife. No, that man's supposed to be listening. How about Shem Yahushua? And it's supposed to be telling her what to do. That's how it's supposed to be. But this place is so proud and want to do their own thing. That's what's going to get them blown up, man. That's what's going to get the nukes. That's why this Lord's going to destroy the system. You know. But that just a little quick lesson I wanted to do. We're gonna close out with this. Okay. It says 1 Corinthians 14:33, for Yahawah is not the author of confusion, but of peace in all churches of the saints, in all churches of the saints. See, that's what he is. He's not about confusion. He's not going to be confusion about it. And when they try to say, oh, well, you can't jump from precept to precept and precept to precept, well, what does this say? Why does it say in Isaiah 28 verse 10 that that's not supposed to be done? It's not written like a textbook. You don't just read through the whole thing. You got to learn it from those men. Okay. And then if you want to go in and read a little bit by yourself, cool, that's studying. But you want to make sure you just taking notes and sitting down. If this is your first, you ain't been in the truth for a while. I still go in there and I still don't even really read the scriptures by myself at all. I go and listen to the men of Great Millstone and I learn a whole bunch of stuff from them. And I go and filter in the new scriptures. And if there's something that the Lord opened up to me, maybe a passage, maybe I could read by myself, cool. But most of the time, I don't even do that. I go and listen to more of the elders and apostles because they got the breakdowns, man. They got the stuff to teach you how to execute wisely and circumspectly and humbly and with strength in this ministry. They help you be able to do that. They're the only ones that are going to do that, and everybody else hates them. They don't go around hating all the other camps. The camps go and hate them and come and slander they name and try to say that they rapists and try to say that all this stuff because in the scriptures it says that the uncle can deal with their niece. Okay, so what? You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that right now because we're not in the kingdom. But in the kingdom, it's going to be that way because that's going to be Israel's not messing with no other nations but Israel. Okay, there's all these laws are just and right. That's why they're there. But since they're taken away, this is why we're going through this crap. Okay, this wicked ass nation, and everything's going to be destroyed because people wanted to look at the Lord's doctrine as hate speech, and it's what's going to get you destroyed, man. So you got to be able to go through the whole scriptures and look at everything circumspectly and be careful for what you think about something whenever these men say it. Okay, be careful how you think about it because the Lord knows what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? He knows what you're thinking. He knows what you're finna think about. So you need to make sure that you're praying to Bahasham, Yahawashi, for him to give you that mind of humbleness and meekness and an open mind and that eye salve, Revelation chapter 3, verse 18, to see what they're telling you for. They're telling you because they're edifying you. This is how it's going to be when we get back in the kingdom. And this is how you rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. All of these scriptures will be used in the kingdom. They will be used for edification. If you're teaching, 2/3, or they actually want to teach 2/3 because it'll be in the inward parts. But if you go down there and, you're going to have the other 17 nations because Esau, Edom is going to be done away with. And basically they're going to be reborn back into the other 16 nations. That spirit of Satan is going to be gone. But those souls that are tied to that spiritual demon Satan are still incorruptible. Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 1. They're going to come back and they're still going to be slaves. They're going to be slaves, but they're going to be the children of the other 16 nations. And those are the ones that Israel is going to go down. They're going to teach. They're going to teach and show them this how it's supposed to do this. And really, they're going to come up to the mount to the they're going to come up to Jacob. They're going to come up to the house of Jacob in the house of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. They're going to be, let's learn his ways because this is what we want to do now. They're going to be us like we're doing right now, seeking the Lord to the best of our abilities and wanting to be like the Lord, you know? So here this is for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here, there, and little, and there, here a little, and there a little. That's how the spirit works. Goes here a little bit, there a little bit, so you can understand that this is all tied together. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people or to this people, you know? And it says, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. See, we rest in this truth. We're glad we found this truth. It's still terrifying because we don't know if we're going to get saved or not, but it's better than, Jake that's in the church, listening to Esau Edom. Man, Esau Edom don't even know how to break this down. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Nebuchadnezzar didn't know how to break down his dream, he had to ask Daniel, and Daniel was one of us. He was an Israelite. Same way with Cornelius. They try to say that he wasn't an Israelite, but whatever, man. There's no way that he's not. Okay? Because Paul was taking those unclean animals to Cornelius. Why would he take him to a heathen? Like that doesn't make any sense, man. Okay? So Isaiah 28:12. And even when you look up, we're gonna look it up real quick, and then we're gonna close out. I want to do it real quick. Isaiah 28:12, to whom he said, "This is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing." Yet they would not hear. See, they don't want to. They don't want to hear. Jake don't want to hear. 2/3 don't want to hear. They want to keep trying to get the bag. Just worried about going. They want to hear the soft, smooth side of the word, the sweet side, or everybody gets saved if you say sorry. That's not how that works, man. I just seen, talking about those four people that was kidnapped and got killed or whatever, and two of them got killed. The Mexican cartel coming out talking about, which is wicked 2/3 of our people. They want to come out and be like, oh, we sorry. And sent five of they work, they people over there. We sorry. You don't say, you can't just kill somebody and murder somebody and say sorry. There's a recompense for that, man. Okay? You're not going to just, and that's how this world is. They just say sorry and all right, we good. Esau Edom murder and kill all these so-called Negroes, Tinos, Native American Western Haitians, and now he want to say sorry and just say let bygones be bygones. Nah, bro, you're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna pay for that. There's going to be a hefty payment for that. Your whole kingdom's gonna be smashed to the ground, and then you're gonna go through 1,000 years of slavery with the other 16 nations, and then you're gonna get destroyed by the fire, and you're gonna come in and be their kids. You're gonna be slaves forever, tributaries. But it ain't gonna be like slavery. Like they looking at it like it's gonna be a bad slavery, like ours was. No, it's gonna be. You're gonna be happy to be Israel slaves. Okay, you gotta have the father saying, "Take my daughters as servants." Okay, because Israel knows how to treat their people good. That's how that once we have all the laws, they're set up for to where everybody is in joy and happiness, man. Okay, it's just gonna be a peaceful time, man. Everybody's gonna be happy, man. Even the slaves, they're gonna get 10% of their tributaries to Israel for the rest of forever. They're gonna go down there and they're gonna live in peace. Not gonna know no war no more. They still gonna die and be reincarnated back. But hey, man, you're gonna live free. You're gonna actually live free. The air gonna be different. Ain't gonna be no bad smells, man. It's gonna be, man, the food gonna be real. Like you're gonna be like, man, this is being in slavery. You ain't gonna even think of it like that. She's still gonna have some people that rebel. You gonna still have some people who do some stuff, but well, it's gonna be a quick, swift judgment. People ain't gonna be playing at their time. It's gonna be serious. They ain't gonna be playing like that. So Acts 10:28 says, and he said unto them, Ye know that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or to come one of another nation, but Yahawah have showed me that I should not call any man uncommon or common or unclean. So when you go to this word nation, you click on that, right? Because it's talking about he's bringing these. He's in Rome, and I'm gonna show you that he's bringing them to Cornelius in just a second. But you see how it says foreign right there, Gentile, one of another nation, right? But you need to go to the root definition. You have to go to the root words. I think you got to study this stuff. And the word is philia, and the other one was apolios. Okay, when you look it up, when it says foreign, but this is philia.
Strong's G 5443. Foulet.
So it says a tribe in the New Testament. That's what NT means. New Testament. All the person descended from one of the 12 sons of the patriotic Jacob, a nation, people. See the 12 tribes. That's why in Revelations, y'all need to go watch that video that Apostle Hard did on Genesis chapter 2 through 20. You need to watch that whole thing, man. They're gonna show you that trees represented three different things in the scriptures. It represented one was the trees, the regular trees where you could eat. And then the tree of knowledge of good and evil was not like an actual tree. That was like philosophy. Okay. And that's when Adam and Eve, they've said they were naked and they wouldn't hid themselves with the fig trees. They hid themselves through the other nations. The other nations was talking about the other nations were trees too. Okay. That's why it's talking about, this is supposed to be Revelation 22. That's why it talks about, you know, let me look real quick. But he said, like, he was saying something like the other nations were the other trees, the other branches, the other trees were jealous. Okay, and it made perfect sense, you know. And when I first got into truth, that's what I thought it was like. I was thinking like, man, it had to not be no tree. Okay, but that was Yahawashi and Yahawashi guiding me into that truth, you know, because it never made sense to me that it was just like they ate some apple or something. There's no apples out there that give you knowledge. Only Yahawashi and Yahawashi can give you knowledge. Period. But let me see. Let me see. Uh, we're almost there. Yeah, it was talking about Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 6. We're gonna pull that up too. Then we're gonna close out. Because I gotta get going out there to the highways. Oh Lord of the Spirit, I had you going all day. So the river of the tree of the river and the tree of life. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and the Lamb. Okay. And when it's talking about that, okay, this is something fairly new that I learned, that I received. So give me a second. It talks about Revelations. It talks about okay, hold on. Because the river was, I want to make sure that I'm 100% specific how he said. He said it's basically, it talks about the 12 manner of fruits. Here it is right here. So let's read it. So in the throne of Yahweh and the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river there was the tree of life, which there bare 12 manner of fruits. That's the 12 tribes of Israel right there. And Jacob's name was turned to Israel, and yielded her fruit every month. And that's in Genesis. I had to pull that up. And the leaves of the tree were the healing of the nations. Okay, the nations of Israel. See, the healing of the trees. And then like basically verse 1 is talking about the 12 manner of fruits. That's where you go down. It's that's the people of Israel proceeding out of the throne of the Most High, crystal clear river. Okay, the throne of the Most High is basically heaven itself. Okay, that's where this tree will come out of. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. That's where you have 12 tectonic plates, 12 disciples, 12 months of the year, 12 parts of each, 12 parts of the earth, 12 hours of the day. Two makes 24. Okay, and so forth. Two parts of the day. Okay, it's talking about the foundations of the heavens. They're made up for the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, and what did I say I wanted to bring up after this? It went away. I need to go ahead and get out there anyways. Lord, put the spirit on me another time. Hold on. Let me think. Said the tree of life. It was saying, uh, it's okay. I do want to bring up a couple points for you to see that. Oh, it was Ezekiel 31:36. Call on Yahabashim Habashah. Okay, about the other 31 verse 6. 63. I don't know why I pressed that, but it's gonna go to 6. Okay. So verse 6, it says the fowls of the heaven were made nests and bows. and under their branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under the shadow dwelt all great nations. See, it's saying nations. It's not talking about. It's not talking about trees. Okay. So when you go to bows, it says bow, branch, of course. Then you go to the root word. Okay. Okay, yo, Brett. Okay, hold on. It's not there. Hold on. But bows and branches and all the beasts of the field and bring forth their young under the shadow and dwell all great nations. Okay. And there and see, it's not even talking about Adam, which is Yahawashi right now. Okay. This is how you know there was more people in the garden. And thus was he fair in his greatness in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. The cedars of the garden of Yahawah could not hide them. The fir trees were not like the bows. When see what's the fir trees? That's the Hamites, the so-called Africans. They're not like us. See, that's talking about the Africans. And the chestnut trees were not like the branches, talking about the other. And the chestnut trees, let me make sure just 100% I'm not saying there's something that he didn't say that they wasn't. Okay, he was basically talking about Ephraim. Ephraim, when you look up the word Ephraim, which is one of the 12 tribes, it means fruitful. That's talking about the nation of Israel. But when you look up bows, uh, when you look up bows in Genesis 49, verse 22, but let's read this and then we're going to do that. The seeds of the garden could not hide them. The fir trees were not like his bows, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree of the garden of Yahweh was like unto him in his beauty. Okay, and that's talking about Israel. Okay, but they weren't called Israel first, they were called Adamites. Okay, and that's why I said, let him make man in our image. But before that, just before that, they were talking about how they made all the other nations, they made all the other creatures, every living creature, and creature basically just means creation. It was created, and was not man created? Yeah, it was created. So it says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, also, or so that the trees of Eden that were in the garden of Yahweh envied him. See, the trees don't envy people, man. People envy people. Envy is a human characteristic. Okay, see what I'm saying? So that's how we know that these trees were people. Okay. And these are these dark sayings that Esau, Edom, and them can't understand. Now let's do this Genesis 49, because I want you to get a full understanding of this. The ones who have been tuning in, the water for tuning in, should get a full understanding of this if you haven't went and watched these videos. Okay, you need to get an understanding. So it's easy. Joseph is a fruitful bow. There it is right there. Even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall. The archers have soberly grieved him and shot at him and hated him. But this bow abide in strength. The arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob, Yahweh. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. So when you go type in this definition of bow, look, it says son, grandson, child, member of a group, son, child, male, grandson, children. See, the branches are people. Okay. So I just wanted to make a quick little video. Went longer than I expected, but that's how the spirit works. It wants we want to break it down to you, okay, so you can get an understanding. If you still haven't went and dug into this, you need to get in there and study, man. You get in there and study. So, got to give all praise to Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, and want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Got to give all praise to Bahasham, Qadash. Stay prayed up, and Lord willing, I make it to camping back, and we can get into these news articles. So, Shalom.